Hey guys, I'm sure everybody has seen on their YouTube algorithm, if you are into shooting, these bore sighting lasers. Picked up one from Tactical Elites. Came in about, I don't know, maybe a week after ordering it. The reason I decided to buy one is, whenever you're putting your guns and stuff in your range bag, maybe they get bumped or something like that. So it may not be a terrible idea just to resight everything in and make sure everything is good to go. The big one I would say on this CZ Scorpion, sometimes this reticle, even though there is Loctite in here, it'll get a little bit loose and may get bumped or whatever. So I'm gonna try this bore sighter and see how it works out and just see how close I am with all my guns right now. All right, let's open this sucker up and see what we got. Got some instructions here. Okay, we don't need that where we're going. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. So I got the bore sighter here. Actually looks pretty decent quality. I mean, need to put the batteries in it and everything like that. But let's see what else we got here. Let's get these batteries out. I don't even know what kind of batteries these are. Lithium battery, CR2-3 volt, 800 milliamp battery. It's actually a lot of power. That looks like we got, whoops, little baby Phillips head screwdriver, and then we have all of our different bores there. Okay, I can pretty clearly see how this is going to go ahead and work. This makes sense. I wish it was labeled. How do I know? Is this 9? Huh. I don't know. That's probably too big, right? Yeah. Let's go down 2 steps here. Is this gonna be decent? Ooh, still too big. All right. Am I missing something here? I guess it's just trial and error. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, let's go ahead and let's start getting this together. All right, let's just use this PDP first. Reason why is because these are the original sights that were on the gun. And with the Holosun SCS, you don't need an optic plate and you don't need to change your sights. You don't need silencer sights or anything like that because you can co-witness the dot and the iron sights just out of the box, which is just a really cool thing. I checked these before, they are clear. But let's go ahead, let's turn on our sight. There we go. Let's crank it up here so we can see. One thing that I just realized that may be kind of weird is this is a green sight, and so is this laser. So with that being said, it may be a little difficult to line it up because it may kind of blend together. If this is a red dot, and we'll try with the Canik, it is red on there, so we'll be able to see if we're close or whatever, and we'll have a better contrast between the two. But okay, let's get this thing put in here. Okay, maybe we're not going to get this thing in here. All right, so let's go ahead. I tried to get it in, but I think I tightened it down a little bit too much. Let me back it off, I guess, a little bit. That's like barely hanging on. Okay, damn. That ain't going to work. Let's go back to the other site that I was at before here. Actually, let's turn this off. Let's back this up just a smidge. There we go. All right, let's go one step down here. That's better. Let's not cross thread this. There we go. I That's better. Okay, now I can see that this is flaring this out, so this will hold better in here. Oh yeah, that's the way. Okay, cool. Let me grab my tape measure out and let's set something up at 15 yards away. Hang on one sec. All right, so on here, so it says pick a target, and then you can set it up from 15 to 35 yards away, which is pretty cool. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, so there is basically an index here that tells you what the bore should be and what to use. Just line that up with that. I was just picking whatever, so that was my fault. That's typical guy, right? We just don't read the directions. We just figure it out the hard way. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's set something up. I'm probably only going to be able to do like a 15 yards thing because that's probably the longest long running space that I have in my house. So let's go ahead and let's get that set up. Okay, so I am upstairs at my house now, and the reason for that, this is the longest run that I have from here, from this window in the bathroom to this window over here. At the minimum, they wanted you to be at 15 yards, and I'm not taking the gun outside or anything like that, but 15 yards would be 45 feet, and from this end to that end, it's only 39 feet. It should be close enough. So let's go ahead. Let's see what we're working with here. Let's pull this up here. Let's get our laser on. Okay, that's looking good. Now let's check in through here. Now the same problem that I thought that we would have before, where it's a green laser and a green dot sight on here, is going to be a little bit of an issue to kind of see what the difference is going to be, or the contrast. But instead of having the 32 MOA big old circle on here, let's do an MOA. Let's do the 2 MOA dot on here. How do I go through and do this? Let's get this on here. Okay. Let's lower. Man, that is really hard to pick up with the 2 dots. But with that being said, it's off by, I don't know if you guys can see. Maybe if I, it is way, 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 way off. Which is kind of surprising because whenever I go to the range with this thing, it is like really accurate and everything, but it clearly isn't. So it is, so the big circle is 32 MOA, and whenever you're looking at the dot, it from the center, I'd say it's probably about 17 up and 3 MOA to the right, which is really surprising. So, man, that's kind of surprising, right? That's just insane because I felt like I'm like, oh man, I could hit anything with this gun, you know, whatever. And it's clearly off. So pretty sweet. So let's go ahead and make some adjustments and let's get this thing just nailed down. Okay, so after some finagling and figuring out which way it goes up and which way it goes down and messing around with it, now the iron sights, the Holosun, and the bore is 100% completely in line. So it was definitely a little shocking that it worked out that way. Now I'm not like an expert at sighting stuff in, but this definitely helped out with getting it perfect and getting it just right. So let's go ahead, let's move over to the Canik and see what we're working with. Okay, we got the Canik all set up. This may be a little bit easier to see because this is a red dot and this is a green laser. So we'll be able to see the contrast a little bit more easily. Let's see what we got. Let me turn this sucker on. Oh Lord. We are, oh my gosh, 15 MOA down? That's insane because, well, actually, let me back up a little bit. Yeah, we're way off. Holy crap. It's close. Well, I guess. All right, let's make some more adjustments. Damn. Okay, after some finagling We got it basically right on the money. Both of the dots are right on top of each other, which is what we want. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take a picture and upload it so you can kind of see what I'm looking at. I'm gonna take a picture with my phone. It's probably a little easier. Okay, last thing to do is the scorpion. Kind of curious to see how this is gonna be because this is just a flash hider here. So let's. Oh Lord. Okay, we're in there pretty good. All right, let's see. All right, again, we're down probably about 5 MOA, I guess. Like 3. It's pretty close, not too bad. Let's go ahead and see what we got going on here. Let's do the same thing as before. Okay, that one was pretty easy. Took about 2 seconds to go ahead and get figured out. Both of the dots are indistinguishable on the reticle, which means that they're right on top of each other. Great, this is sweet. Good deal. All right, so in closing, man, I am really happy that I bought this. It's kind of like a little frustrating because you're like, oh yeah, I got everything sighted in just fine and everything, and then the laser's not gonna lie. So the fact that it was off as far as it was is definitely a little eye-opening, and I wouldn't have caught it if it wasn't for this thing. So super great. I'm really happy I bought it. It was pretty inexpensive. They had a deal whenever it was around 4th of July whenever I bought it. I don't even remember what it was. It was like 50 bucks or something like that. Less than that. Anyways, but really great if you guys are trying to go ahead and get everything sighted in without doing it the old way with firing off rounds. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.